Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to talk about the words SA302 and what that means to you. Now if you've ever been asked for an SA302 you're probably a little bit confused of what it means, what it's all about, and this video is all about making sure that you know exactly what an SA302 is all about. Stay tuned. Hello, my name is Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer, fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, and also head of accounts here at Boffix. Now today we're going to be talking about SA302. And effectively the only time you need to worry about an SA302 is if you've been asked for it. So first of all, what is an SA302? Well, basically it's an annual summary of what you've earned in a particular year. If your tax affairs are relatively simple, and by that I mean that really you just have some employed income, you get a P60 every year, maybe a bit of interest here and there, then you never would have come across an SA302 before. Because an SA302 basically follows people who have to complete an annual tax return, otherwise known as a self-assessment tax return, on an annual basis. And all the SA302 is designed to do is to summarise basically that huge form that is your self-assessment into something that's really straightforward to see and summarise what you've had, which makes it really easy for people to make decisions about your income. Now these decisions primarily relate around mortgages, loan applications, items like that, and that's where it becomes really crucial. Because if you think about it, if your tax affairs were really simple and you just had that one form of maybe employed income, then for a lender to make a decision on your behalf is really straightforward. All they need to do is look at your P60, see how much you earn in a particular year, and then it's a yes or a no situation from that. But if you're self-employed or you have your own business in any way and you've got income from all manner of different areas, or you're a true entrepreneur and you've taken advice from this channel to diversify your income streams, you've got income coming all over the place, then we really do need to find a way to make it simple for a decision maker when it comes to lending money, etc., to be able to decide exactly how credible you are and how much you earn in a particular year. And an SA302 can also be a really good indication for yourself. That's going to let you know if you've had a good year or a bad year. Maybe you want to think about investing in other projects or anything like that. Well, you can see from one year to the next if it's been as fruitful as the year before or any decisions like that. So an SA302 is actually a really, really useful piece of paper. Now, let's have a quick look about where an SA302 comes in and what to look out for it. Let's have a look. Okay, so an SA302 all comes around your SA100. An SA100 is your self-assessment form. Now, this is kind of the back end of our software, so what you would normally see is this form just here. And as you can see here, we've got items and tick marks and numbers floating all over the place. And actually it's quite a complex form as I scroll all the way to the bottom here to make a decision if you've got a good year or bad year. But connected to the SA100 is your SA302. Now the SA302, as we can see here, basically indicates how much money I've had from my different income streams. And I can see here my different income streams, in this case profit from self-employed, dividends from UK companies, and it gives me a total of what that particular person's earned in this year. Then afterwards does its calculation on taxes and tells you basically what tax needs to be paid. Now, if you're ever asked to review a tax return, SA302 is probably the one you're going to review most thoroughly because that's the one that makes sense. You can see the income coming in and ultimately you can see how much tax you need to pay. A majority of the people, that tax that you need to pay is by far the most important thing. Now, as you can see here, using my software, I can generate SA302s as I need to. I can change these figures around, I can put added elements in, and there's no real indication that this is my final SA302 or is just something that I'm drafting up for the client to see and look at and maybe even have a discussion about. Sometimes we use SA302s as accountants to show what would have happened in certain scenarios. So maybe my client's looking to add some more income in there or take on a new project. And then we can kind of guesstimate that, well, if we'd had that extra income in this year, what would that do for my tax return and tax position? Ultimately, how much more tax will I need to pay? So from a lender point of view, they can't really just rely on the SA302. So when you're asked for an SA302, you're normally going to be asked for something else to go with it. And that is called your tax overview. Now your tax overview is really straightforward as well. If we look back at the screen, you have here, we've been told there's £1,378.60 due for this particular client. Now the tax overview, if I was to jump into HMRC, so now I've logged into HMRC, you can see though, it's asking me for my print your tax year overview just here. And as an agent, I get to choose what year I need to go into and which one works and everything else. But as I click on my print your tax year overview, so as I look at my print year overview, it's going to tell me what those figures here that got submitted. And this is what's actually been submitted to HMRC. So in theory, the only way this will actually work for us is if this figure here, in my case 0, because we've not submitted this return just yet. And if I go back to my test one, £1,378.60. Now, in order for an SA302 to be accepted, we have to have our print tax overview and our SA302 have to be exactly the same. Now, 99% of the time, that's exactly what's going to happen, especially if you've had an accountant submit it for you. They gather the data, they make sure it's right, they send it off, everyone's happy. But every so often, you may find that something's changed. Maybe there's been a change to your tax circumstances and that SA302 is now out of date. HMRC may have updated something. We had a lot last year with that self-employed income support scheme where we were submitting numbers and then realising that HMRC had a different number that they were actually expecting. And in those circumstances, our SA302 and our tax year overview weren't matching. So if our clients needed anything from there, we had to generate a new SA302 with the amendment so that we can get them all updated, ready to go. Now, if you've had an accountant do your own tax return for you, they'll be able to generate an SA302 and you can just ask them for it. Most of the time, it's part of the pack that you sign on a year-by-year basis. So if you are looking for it urgently, then do consult the pack that you signed in that particular year and you should be able to take your SA302 from there. Your tax year overview should be also available on your online portal. So either again, ask your accountants to do it if you've got one, or go log into your own HMRC portal. Finally, if you did your own tax return, then the way you can get your SA302 is by going back to the tax return portal, having a look at the previous returns that have been filed, looking at the documentation there, and HMRC will give you options to print off your self-assessment directly from there. And then we have our SA302 and what it means. Hopefully that's made it a lot more clear for you as to what it's for and why it's so important. If you have any questions regarding the SA302, don't forget to let us know down below and we can make sure we answer them accordingly. But it'd be great to hear from you guys. Have you ever had problems getting your SA302? Is there ever a problem where actually the SA302 doesn't match your tax year overview and it's always been a little bit confusing? My name's been Aaron Patrick. This video has been an absolute pleasure to do for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz to make sure more people understand exactly where we are. We're really close now to that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is really exciting. So if you guys help, we'll be able to make sure we get that no problem whatsoever. As I said, my name's Aaron Patrick. It's been an absolute pleasure to do this video. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.